Welcome to the Nerd Party.
I'm Darren Moser.
I'm Philip Gilfus.
I'm Daniel Prue.
And this is City Alpha 3. Hello and welcome to City Alpha 3, a Star Trek podcast here on the Nerd Party Network. I am Darren Moser, and I am joined, as always, by my two fellow Strandies, Philip Gilfus and Daniel Prue. Gentlemen, we're still neck deep in Star Trek, and I still have to remind myself what episode you guys have watched. But we're not going to be talking a ton about Picard or Strange New Worlds or other shows this week. But I have to ask, as customary on our show, how have you been watching Star Trek? Have you been enjoying? Did you watch all of the motion picture over and over in its 4K, 8K amazing?
Spoiler, I did not.
What? I'm so shocked, Daniel.
I didn't. You know what I did watch was Shakaar, the episode of Deep Space Nine, where Kai Wynn tries to take political power up top of
every
religious
episode
power,
where she, no, I'm just saying.
And we meet Shakaar, who is now going to win and become first minister or whatever. And you know what I thought the whole time? I hate Bajoran storylines, man. They're so boring. I get so annoyed with them because, like, these Bajor is presented
puny little lives on this puny little planet.
Bajor is presented in that show a lot of times as this like primitive, like planet that doesn't like can't do anything. Like they can't replicate these farm equipment, or they go on the run and they're like in the mountains. Like we can't find
Federation's like, hey, we're here in this station. We got replicators. If you would just join the Federation, we could give them to you. But I'm sorry, but unless you join, we can't give you this life-saving aid.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, it was like
die.
We have these replicators and all this technology. You just have to beam up. Oh, sorry, we moved the station. We tried.
But certainly there must be stations above Bajor. There must be
not anymore.
Well, listen, I get it that they were occupied for 50 years or whatever, but they still have space travel. They have ships, and it just
sailing ships.
Yeah, they have solar power.
No, that was ancient. We also watched that one this week. Explorers. It was a good one. But.
Yep.
So Daniel, because I know you're all about the romance. So out of Kira's paramours, where does Shakaar rate with Bareil and Odo and anyone else?
Yeah, I don't like the Odo stuff. Bareil is boring, so I guess Shakaar is best. I don't know. I don't really like any of her love interests, I don't think.
I'm trying to remember because they are slightly interchangeable in my mind. Was Shakaar her plus one when she was pregnant? And it was, him and Miles that were sort of,
I think so. Well, Bareil's dead, so it can't be him.
Yeah. Spoilers.
No. Spoilers.
Show's like 20 years old at this point. I will agree with you, Daniel, that often the Bajoran storylines are kind of dry, but Kai Wynn is always a treat.
Yes, Kai Wynn's great.
Because you just love to hate her. Mm-hmm. Like she just comes on the screen, you're like, why are you? I just hate you so much.
Yeah, I was thinking
how to come up and so.
The Star Trek sin of always uniforming, if that's a word, uniforming a culture. So, like, they're all the same. All Romulans look like this. All Vulcans look like this. All Bajorans are like this. But, I mean,
except Klingons. They can look like whatever.
Exactly.
Purple, whatever.
But, like, for instance, like, it would have been interesting to have, because, I mean, like, the whole planet can't be of faith. Like, I mean, I get it, that's a predominant culture, but, like, I would have loved to have, like, some atheist Bajorans come on and be like, why are we listening to Cisco?
They don't wear the earring?
They don't wear the earring?
I
would love that too. Yeah, absolutely.
You just created a more compelling Bajoran storyline than any episode we've received to date. No.
It could either, I mean, you could do it so many ways. They're in conflict with their...
They call them, like, the anarchists, even though they're just atheists. Like, it's just, for them, it's like, you rejected what?
They just start calling them wormhole aliens instead of
wormhole aliens,
and just calling him Captain Cisco. We're
WHAs, wormhole alien believers. So it's basically like what, the Bajorian version of a flat earther or something like that.
Yeah.
Like how can you believe that? And they're like, what? It's just aliens. We've proven there's aliens out there.
I mean, you would think
Noses told us.
It's true that you would think that if in a society like that, if somebody actually met somebody outside your society, went and met your religious icons, like your gods, and came back and nothing changed, your life was still the same, like some people would be like, what? Like, this is kind of bogus. What's going on here? Like,
okay, we're just hands off gods, so we don't actually do anything, but
we just see.
I mean, because it would have been, not to get serious, it would have been interesting if we're using the analogy of the Bajorans as Jews during the Holocaust, because obviously for I mean, I'm not Jewish, I don't know, but some Jews during the Holocaust, I'm sure felt abandoned by their religion, their faith. For others, they got deeper into it. But like, if we're using that analogy, you could have these Bajorans of like, well, where were the prophets during the occupation?
Yep.
All these people died.
That's true, and no one ever really says that sentence, but they kind of should have.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Interesting. What about you, Philip? Any Star Wars? Eat any good books lately?
Definitely no Star Wars. So let's see. I've been back to Voyager. I'd sort of let it breathe for a second because I was in that separation that I've created in my own mind between Kes leaving and the introduction of Seven, because that actually is a bit of a change with who's in charge. That's when Jerry left and Brannon basically took over Voyager. And so I started watching that. So slowly.
Was it Brannon Braga, right?
Right, correct.
My brain could never handle
the beast.
People, a person named Brannon Braga and then not Michael. Gosh, the main showrunner. Why am I thinking his name?
Of Voyager?
Michael. No.
Pillar?
Are you talking about the Voyager showrunner?
No. Sorry, it's it's like the one who ran it after Roddenberry.
I know, Rick Berman.
Berman.
Oh, Berman.
Michael Burnham
and Braga
messed me up.
Yeah.
Berman, Braga, and Berman. But like, my brain was like, "What?
Yeah.
Who is this?"
Now, of course, I'd recently, talked about it last week. I'd watched the Center Seat documentary, which covered Voyager. So,
chaos on that bridge.
But I'm sure as you all remember, you've probably forgotten. Brannon, of course, not right away, but eventually dated Ms. Jerry Ryan while the show was on. So that obviously didn't help the already perhaps tensions of that were already on the set. So anyway,
I can see Kate Mulgrew being like, and so this new character came on and she's dating the little show. Oh yeah.
So anyway,
I mean, imagine that, like, you're working 4 years at a job and then all of a sudden the new person comes in, starts dating your boss, and it's like, it's awkward.
Yeah. But I mean, obviously it doesn't excuse any bullying that may have happened on Ms. Mulgrew's part. But anyway, so I'm as we all know, the Voyager and the Borg and all that stuff and how it gets Seven centric, which is not necessarily a bad thing, because I remember watching at the time like Seven, but then Jerry is a good actress and there are some good stories in there. They just probably go to the well a little too often. But anyway, so I'm getting back into that part of Voyager.
Who was Robert Picardo dating? Because, man, he got a lot of episodes in that later couple of seasons.
We can get into the argument of whether the Doctor ever should have ended up with either Kes and or Seven.
Ooh.
Yeah, I
don't know if I like that idea.
I don't know. We just needed a new holographic character. I mean, I know he created like a family in one episode.
What about that lady he went to Mars with? Don't you remember?
Oh, yeah, barely. Or
the Vidian. The Vidian.
I was just thinking that. The Vidian
holographic Mars. Sorry, I had to be like...
he didn't go to actual Mars. Sorry.
Because he did go to the Alpha Quadrant before any of them did. So.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's true.
He starts dating someone in the Alpha Quadrant when he gets sent back and forth. It's like really long.
I mean, he already had a publisher in the Alpha Quadrant.
That's right.
That's true. I got 30 seconds before I need to beam back to Voyager. Let me set up my publishing contract really fast. All right. Well, I watched Troubles and Tribble-ations because it's a great episode, and I just wanted a good dose of that. And man, it is so seamless. The effects they pull out all the stops. I think just every time they're meshing with the footage from Tribbles, it's so hard to tell. I will give it, there's a little, even then, it's only probably because I know, like, if I were to show this to my wife or someone else that wasn't like a big Star Trek person, hadn't seen the episode many times, like the lineup with Bashir and O'Brien, like if you can kind of tell that they are a little standout, but like the light on their hair and the angles, like everything works so well. And or the fight scene is expertly done where I can't tell what is old footage and what is new. I'll think something is, new footage, and then Chekhov will like walk right past the middle of the frame. And I'm like, well, it can't be that. What's going on? So anyway, what I thought we could do is, so that Trouble and Tribble-ations is an episode where we take our crew from the future, quote unquote, the more present at the time, and they travel to an event that interacts with a specific episode of the past. And I thought, are there other instances that we could do of this? Now we might have to, maybe not as big of a gap. I think it was like 100 years gap. But could we have, Voyager crew interacting with Enterprise, or could we have, someone go back to the time of Discovery, or even, I think technically you could have Picard now that he's in 2024. You could see Cisco and O'Brien, Bashir, Cisco and Bashir walking around on their way to the Sanctuary District.
And
Dax, yeah. And I mean, that would be kind of a blink and you miss it. Like, I don't really see the stories overlapping too much. But I wanted us to kind of spitball and think if there were any particular episodes we would want to see get the Tribble-ations treatment. There's a lot of iteration there. Like that. But anyone have anything off the top of their head? I'm starting to think of like Enterprise-ish. Because I'm trying to think of something really past.
I think you can go one of two ways, because if I recall correctly, the first TOS because they wanted to do a TOS episode, for this anniversary. They first pitched, I believe, a piece of the action, if I recall correctly.
That's the one when they go to the gangster planet.
Yes,
right?
Exactly, which is silly. Which also
Tribbles are so
serious.
Well, it also doesn't take place on the Enterprise, really. But anyway,
that's true.
Also, of course, Tarantino wanted to do that as well, piece of the action. But anyway, but it gets me thinking. There's two ways to go about this. You either pick something that's like a quote unquote famous episode, because everyone loves the Tribbles episode. So what would be that version of the rest of the series?
It's like one of the 5 episodes people have all seen of TOS,
or TNG, or DS9, or Voyager, or Enterprise, or whatever. Or you can almost pick maybe a nondescript episode. Like, I know this is terrible that I'm using this example, but I'm going to use it anyway. For these are the Voyages using
Pegasus.
I'm not that's a bad episode. It's actually a good
true.
episode, but it's not like the TNG episode you think of.
But they're not actually traveling there. It's just the holograph. But it is the same.
It's just an episode that you can just seamlessly kind of weave yourself into. Because like I'm thinking of Timescape, which is seems like a stupid episode to pick because everything's paused on the Enterprise and the Romulan Warbird. This is the one where they're stuck, they're paused in time, and it's one where Picard, Data, and Troy and LaForge are the ones who are traveling through those two, and the Picard happy face with the coolant leak and the warp core. But anyway, I just think of like if one of these 21st century shows goes to that time, you can just walk through the Enterprise. Like it doesn't have to be something.
This
big.
was the time where the Enterprise was frozen.
Yeah, or the Warbird. Whatever. You just get different angles.
But I was thinking just kind of along the same lines, but I was thinking like, what if you didn't put it in an episode? Like, what if you kind of
make up an episode?
Yeah, exactly. Or like you just like find clips or whatever, how you
take
want
them from like a period of time.
Yeah. And then you just visit the ship and just like
season 4 TOS animated. We're going to the animated.
Well, yeah, we have lower decks popping over. It could totally work.
Or I want that, by the way. Sorry, we have to pause that for a second. I want Lower Decks to go to the animated series.
Oh, that would actually, that would be easy to do. That would be so easy to do.
And you would have to do the same animation for the TOS.
They step through like a portal or something, and when they come out, they look like TAS anime style, but it's same voices, same.
I just want to see Boimler going like this towards.
And Boimler can we please have Boimler then like step into a barbershop and gets his hair dyed? Because nobody has purple hair in TAS. Like,
except maybe the Klingons, I was going to say.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? So
speaking of...
Go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to say, sidebar, did you guys see, because we're talking about TAS, did you see the Next Generation animated clip in TAS style?
I loved it.
So funny. So like the pink Borg cube really put it over the top. But anyway, find that, just search.
Well, it'd also be great because Tindy would be like, why does everyone keep calling me an Orion?
That's true. She'd have to like hide or.
I feel like there now, Darren, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but there's 2 famous TAS episodes. So you're either going to do Yesteryear, or you're going to, if it's going to be serious, or you do Spock's the giant Spock one. If you're going to do it,
now they have already referenced that technically.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, there could be a couple.
I feel like, you know what? They're Practical Joker. I think that's the episode you got to use with them.
Oh, Kirk is a jerk on the back of the. Yeah. That's a good point. Like, what episode would we use? I think, honestly, it would probably be better in the style you're talking about, Daniel, where we just take all footage of TAS and just cobble together an interaction. Because there's only like 20 episodes to pull from. So, and then you got to just have the music, like, you know, the TAS music. Okay, I want to see that now. Like,
what does that music mean? I don't know, but something's going on.
They can hear it for some reason. And you do the whole like they're running, and then like the background's kind of looping by. You know,
didn't we pass that already?
Yeah. Wait. Like I'm getting lost. I keep checking the numbers on these doors, but it keeps repeating over and over. I don't know why.
The jokes write themselves. We are going to save Mike McMahon like a whole week of work. You can just
Dragon number 42. Do they even just give them names anymore?
Well, and that's the other thing. I think why I personally, if I was doing this, I would place the limit on you have to use original footage. You can't like redub or anything from TAS, because that's half the fun of being, you know, if you're putting it together as its own episode, you're already kind of editing things. But it'd be so easy. It'd be much easier to do this treatment with TAS, as it were, than like Trouble and Tribbles, where it's like live action. You have to edit around something that is there.
And they've already done the random clips episode in the holodeck with Spock and all those characters when they were just used the Star Trek soundboard to do the Kobayashi Maru.
Oh, that's true. That's true. But yeah, well, so what I was also thinking was, what if we went the other way? Oh, actually,
what is the other way? Sorry, like live action goes to live action.
No.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
I meant more like characters from a
past show go to a future show.
Yeah, that would be what it would have to be. But I'm trying to think if that would actually work, because the past show would have to be the one.
Well, the timeline is messed up, so you could still do it, because I mean, like when you say a past show, like I don't know if you're like DS9 or Voyager. What do you like?
I guess past show meaning like in Star Trek time.
Discovery is a past show, and Strange.
Well, not anymore.
And Enterprise is a past show. You know, I mean, when you're saying past, you mean production or chronology?
Yeah, it's hard.
There's no way you could to do it like post production, because you would just be like people like fan edits do it. Like you could watch YouTube fan edits of like this, you know, putting this into this, but it doesn't work. It's like,
it's more like which show is the footage show and which show is the live show that's being edited around it. And, and
you know
what I was talking about would be like let's say Enterprise to Voyager for some reason. So Enterprise could be the footage show, but in the story, they're somehow going into the, you know, Delta Quadrant, but then we're editing around, you know, so we're creating a new story, but they're interjecting into the Voyager story.
Yeah, they could do that. It's essentially the same thing. I see what you're saying. Like, they're not going back in time.
You just have to find an episode of Enterprise, or maybe this is more of the footage kind of thing, where we're taking from like 3 episodes worth of footage of Enterprise and to get them to say the right lines in the right location.
Well, I mean, I assume what you're saying is like, while Enterprise was in production, they could have gone into the future and gone into the Voyager timeline.
Oh, you're right. Okay, you're right. Enterprise is the only one it really works for. Well, maybe Discovery, but that's true. Because again, like I was saying, the trick is which is the show that is using footage and which is the show that is filming live.
Right.
And you're right. Enterprise could be the live show that is using Voyager just to not be
just
DS9.
go to the
That could be
dumpster, pick up the set.
I was going to say it would also be it would be the least impressive because they were like filming right across the street at the same time.
Let's go one back. Let's do Enterprise using footage from TNG because they're on another Enterprise.
They did.
It's a little.
They literally did that, kind of.
Well, they went the other way. I guess they did kind of. Do that.
Yeah. But see, I think.
Just like one character, though. I need more, Daniel. I need more.
Well, and it's too bad they're not doing short treks anymore because this would be perfect. But maybe they can still do this one day where, the Enterprise cast should get its revenge. They should go into another show for their sort of Enterprise finale. So,
oh wow!
Because I'm thinking, I don't think the timeline works, but I'm just going to
timeline, Philip.
But I'm just going to propose this, where Enterprise crew, like as they are now, goes to Discovery. Because I don't know how old their characters would be, and maybe they're too old and would be dead by then. But anyway, because you could say it's season 0 of Discovery. They got the sets.
Oh wow! Wait, okay. Somebody needs to look up a memory alpha. How many years is it between?
I mean, a lot, I'm sure, but
Enterprise and Discovery.
It would be 1100 or something like that, or close to it.
100. No, I'm talking about season 1 of Discovery, not now.
Oh, well, okay, sorry. But we can't do that. I guess we could, hypothetically.
Why? You just take the A off.
Well, what I was thinking was if we did it now, because we could, because Discovery is still a show that's now in existence.
Their sets are there.
Okay.
Why? You could do that now, and I don't know what episode you'd pick. Maybe.
So you're talking about Discovery going to Enterprise era?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's their past because they don't. That's the only past we have before,
right? So maybe the episode where they all go on to
the catwalk,
the catwalk one where they all go on to the nacelle, and so the ship is empty and Burnham and Saru.
We never see the aliens that are trying to take over.
Oh, what if that's them? That would be cool, actually.
Or heck, even the Ferengi episode, you could juxtapose it.
Mm-hmm.
Because there are
all these 28th century Ferengi walking around.
Because there are 2 different episodes from 2 different series that are the I'm alone, and there's everyone else is frozen. Because there's the Voyager 7's All Alone episode.
Right. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you could do Voyager.
The Voyager,
and then there's Enterprise
for night,
where it's the Doctor who's alone because he's freaking out, and I think
right. Well, and technically, there's TNG, you have the Beverly episode where she's kind of alone.
Static warp bubble.
The bubble one? Yeah. Oh, A Night in Sick Bay, too, right? Wasn't that just the Doctor on the ship, or he was alone?
Well, no, many people come into sick bay. That's the whole.
Oh, okay.
It's the reverse. It's a bottle episode.
It's the bottle episode on a one set.
Yeah, I remember now.
With the dog.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, with the dog. That's right.
Yeah, but there are definitely, I think, instances of almost every series where there's at least there's 2 or 3 characters that are kind of isolated for whatever reason.
Right.
Because I'm all for, and I'm sure they'd like the work, for the Enterprise actors to come by and do it. Like I said, if they're doing a short trek, they just do a short trek. But they could go to Bajor of their time, or I'm sure it's a long way
still
for Enterprise.
Boring.
But because I don't know how long
everyone's naked walking around. What?
That would be a Discovery episode, I'm sure.
Because how long? How long was
Bajoran wedding planning season, or not Bajoran, but Beta Z wedding planning season?
How old is Impact Nor? How long was the occupation?
The occupation was 60 years.
Okay, so that was not that long, really.
Yeah, it's 50 or 60 years.
Only TNG would be within that time. Oh,
Yeah.
That's true. TNG didn't care about the Bajoran occupation.
Yeah.
Well, they did kind of, because they were at war with the Cardassians that we saw that one time, remember?
Yeah, that was bloody Cardassian.
That
And we
long
had,
bloody war.
I hate what it made me do. And there's also Ro, she obviously is escaped from an occupied planet.
You know what I would really love, and I know it doesn't really fit with what you're saying. It's just, and I don't know because I don't know what show I'm saying to go on this set, but we never got to see the B or the C. I mean, we did, but we didn't. So, I would love for one of the other crews to somehow end up on the Enterprise E or Enterprise C.
So, all we have is Generations footage to interject.
Well, I think it's hard to build those sets. I mean, because we only saw the bridge in Deck 15.
Yeah, but I think the one rule that we are sticking with is it has to be historical footage. It has to be an actual episode that we're injecting into, right?
True. So it would be Generations. It's the only thing that has the B.
Because even TV,
that's kind of cool. That's a pivotal moment of Kirk's death,
Nexus,
quote unquote.
Yes. Oh, the Nexus. Yeah, you can use that. Whatever excuse you want to use. Whatever crew encounters the Nexus, and that's how they get back to the other.
Don't worry, it's circling back around. It'll come back here.
And it all makes sense.
Discovery could definitely interact with the Nexus at this point. I feel like.
Why not? Why not just fly into it with a ship?
Just what if you spore drive jump into it? That'll work.
Oh no, that's gonna never cross the streams, man. I don't know what's gonna happen.
Okay, so because we're not necessarily fans of Discovery, so if it's Discovery crew, where would you like for them to go in Star Trek to play with? Maybe we get a little bit more out of them.
Well, I think, like we said, if it's going to be Discovery, I think Enterprise makes the most sense because that's the only real past that they have that we have access to. And
I just hate to do it to Enterprise again.
I mean, technically,
it's a sore subject with them,
and they could go anywhere. And there's nothing stopping them from going anywhere in the past. Their future is now their past as well. So TNG and Deep Space Nine and Voyager are now their past, even if they don't know about it.
What if they? I mean, it's really convoluted, but what if they somehow end up in the future and interact with Voyager, but this is weird because there's no way for them to really know except for some massive plot, whatever, but.
Nexus.
Basically, the joke being they have the ability to bring the Voyager crew home because they can spore jump, but they somehow figure out that Voyager is meant to be here in this time and be lost. And if we fix it, we're actually making it work.
But hang on. Oh, I was just going to say, you said that Voyager is in Discovery's future. You're talking season 1 or 2 Discovery then.
Yeah, you got to be specific.
Yes.
Are we going back in time to season 1 or 2, or are we doing current day?
Oh,
I think it makes more sense to.
That's true. Discovery A could jump back.
Right.
Okay, that makes more sense. I just don't think about the future time of Discovery at all because
don't worry, neither do the writers.
Because you haven't seen it.
It's 1,000 years later. It's so detached.
Well, if we're thinking of sort of not necessarily iconic, but the episodes you would use, so Trouble with the Tribbles. So for Voyager, because it wouldn't affect anything, and you could play with it, and you could do anything you want. Year of Hell.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? You can. Well, see, this is where my mind goes instantly you could just have the characters interact and meet each other.
Could.
But there's no way to do that seamlessly like you would in Trouble with Tribbles. You could have 1 or 2 scenes.
Right, because
they don't have to be 100% hidden. They're not saying I'm from Star Trek Discovery, but they're I am human. I got here. Don't ask questions.
Do it with Robert Picardo. I would say of all the actors, Robert Picardo is the one that kind of looks pretty much the same.
And his program gets turned off, I believe, halfway through Year of Hell.
Oh, it might. I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, because they lose the Doctor at some point.
We lost the Doctor. Okay, so 31st century Discovery crew.
Because technically Year of Hell's in a different time. I don't want to get technical, but you know what I'm trying to say. It's a different timeline. So when Discovery is doing
it's a closed loop.
So it somehow gets sent to that timeline. So instead of on the Mirror universe,
Day 1. What?
Yes.
That's an interesting idea, though. I do like that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And it would confuse them because maybe they're there on day 200 or whatever.
And it would also be weird because all of the events from this wouldn't be in their historical record.
Exactly.
In the future. Because it was a closed time
okay,
loop.
no, I've got it. I've got the perfect.
They're like, what Credum Imperium? Like, that's not a thing.
I remember Voyager being like torn in half,
Yeah, like, oh my gosh, the ship looks like junk. Like, what is going on?
I've got the perfect plot for this. So for whatever reason, blah, 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 the Burnham and Saru or whoever has to go back in time. And
it's got to be Burnham, otherwise nothing's getting done.
Oh, zing! But anyways, so they have to go back in time to save the Voyager. Blah 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 blah, and they have time travel. They've effectively have time travel. So they get there and they're like, oh man, this is day 200 or whatever, like it is, and as everything's effed up and nothing's working right, things are crazy. So and because they're trapped in that loop inside the Krenim thing or whatever, they keep jumping around, but nothing. They can't fix anything. Everything's already broken. They're in so you have two separate entities time jumping to try to fix the timeline, and that'd be fun. That'd be something.
And that's the surprise reveal. Is it's like, oh, they jumped into the past, but they're in that pocket window of Year of Hell where nothing actually can be fixed or changed because it will self-close with the destruction of the Krenim ship.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's really interesting.
And they have to try to they have to lose. Like they can't fix it with their time travel or whatever. They just kind of have to ride it out.
It's literally a fixed point in time. Come on, I'm leading you, Philip. It's right there.
Hey, I'm missing live Doctor Who for this. So.
It's always live where you are, I think, right? So you're fine.
I was gonna say, yeah, you get special treatment. And I was also trying to think of.
I'll give you one. I don't have the episode to use. I have whoever you want from Enterprise. I mean, why not Scott Bakula? But it doesn't matter. It can be whoever you want. But I don't know what Crewman Daniels looks like these days. I'm sure he looks the same. But Crewman Daniels finds, President Archer or whatever, Admiral Archer, and says, one more mission, something's effed up, in my time, blah, blah, blah.
Are we closing the loop on Future Guy? Are we now making Back to the Future Guy?
Bam! There you go.
But that's new stuff. We can't do new stuff, right?
Well, no, I'm saying you can go to whatever you want.
Well, short treks. You could do short treks.
Well, because it's coming from Enterprise this time, you got the whole...
Okay, I believe me. Yeah. I'm totally fine with it.
Because, there's nothing... Because we don't see... I don't know enough about Strange New Worlds to suggest anything, obviously, and Discovery is Discovery. And then everything else is a cartoon or animated. So so from there, then we haven't done anything DS9-y. What would be a good DS9 episode? Are we doing?
I mean, it's hard because DS9 has Trouble and Tribble-ations.
I was going to say DS9 has
the kind of.
Yeah.
No, but they don't have. What's a DS9 episode?
Right.
Like we're going to DS9.
So someone comes back.
The Enterprise is Archer and plus one, whoever else you want from the NX-01 crew. Goes to a DS9 episode.
So if you want to pick a famous one, or like an impactful one, of course
they go to Trouble and Tribble-ations.
It's a loop. It's a loop.
It's the trilogy, the Tribble trilogy.
Man, can you? That actually would be
my brain.
What a mind-blowing concept! Like, can you imagine? Like, a good writer, a really smart writer, could do something awesome with that. Like,
it's like an extra layer.
This is Back to the Future too.
Honestly, I was gonna say it's like Back to the Future 2, where it's like, yeah, we totally planned for this all along. It was all in the background. It all happened. It's like, did it though?
So the guy, whoever this person is, that's going into Troubles and Tribble-ations, starts the
TribbleCeption.
Starts the bar fight somehow himself. Like he bumps into a Klingon or whatever it is. You know what I mean? Like, oh man, that actually would be awesome to watch. That could be Archer.
Because didn't people mistake Cyrano Jones with the
other guy?
His name?
Mud,
yeah.
So all of a sudden it's just Mud instead.
Oh, we're gonna get Rainn Wilson?
Yeah.
All right, there we go.
Sure.
Short trek for Rainn Wilson. All right.
Even better. Okay, Rainn Wilson as Mud travels back to a TOS episode with Mud.
Well, there's only two: Mud's women or I Mud.
Oh,
yeah,
true.
The one has the robots, and the other one has.
Well, they all have women, but
yeah.
But you know what I mean.
It'd be interesting because it's you could have the whole why'd you look so different back then? It's just facial.
We do not speak of it.
Yeah. Oh, that was so well done. Well, and also what's funny is the two things they recommended, like genetic mutation. It's like, some virus. It's like, that's literally what we made it become. Like, we retconned it so that they were right.
Luckily, the two top guesses were correct.
Yeah.
So here's another. It's kind of in the same vein, but it's a little different. I think it would be such a fun thing to do this. Actually, no, it is in the spirit, because it is reshooting past footage to interject and interconnect. I want them to refilm all of the future scenes from All Good Things now.
Darren,
So
Darren,
what?
Don't give them any ideas.
No, this is
Season
great.
3, Star Trek Picard.
I'm just telling you, man.
No,
we'll talk about this
but
next week, but just don't give them any ideas.
Okay. I think it would be really interesting to have everyone.
I agree.
Actually aged.
I agree. It would be interesting. I do not trust the people who are writing Picard to do it.
Well, it's not like we can't hypothesize it. It's not like they're actually listening to the show and taking notes.
I don't know.
And Marina's like, "Oh, what do you need me for?" Oh,
that's true.
not only do I not get the credit on the Picard episode, I'm not getting asked back for. Okay.
She was in a Picard episode.
She didn't get credit, by the way, if you notice on those opening titles, just Frakes.
Oh. Well, he didn't direct that episode.
No, it was just actor, just featuring Jonathan Frakes, and that's all we're featuring. So yeah, it was kind of.
Well, they probably sold it as you're a surprise, Marina. They don't know you're there because we don't want to reveal it.
Except that it was publicized, but yeah.
Well, yes, of course.
Because I'm trying to think of a TNG episode that could be, the set for a Trouble and Tribble-ations. Like what?
Okay, I'm picturing now. I mean, it's a little weird because we'd have to film it back in the movie era. But what if, like, First Contact Borg go to like
Descent
or like Q Who or like something. Basically, it's Trouble and Tribble-ations, but with the Borg, and they're all like, "What is good?" Like, you'd have basically like movie era Borg interacting with season.
I feel like Lower Deck should address this.
I was going to say that would be that's a good for like a 1 minute gag. I don't know if you could pull an episode out of that.
Well, here's one because I mean, ideally you want one where you're messing with the crew. In a good way. Interacting is the word I'm looking for.
Well, interacting in the background.
But I keep going back to the empty ships because to me it's more fun. So I'm thinking of Starship Mine. So you have I don't know who we're using. I mean, Discovery's really the only one we can use. Unless we're doing Enterprise for some reason. Just goes back to the empty Enterprise and they're having to like fight the other people. There's more people that are invading the Enterprise D that they have to fight.
They're also trying to steal the trilithium resin.
Yes, exactly.
Everybody wants this stuff.
Well, maybe they need trilithium to get back home, whoever it is we're using.
Oh, that's true.
There you go. What about an episode like Naked Now, where everybody's weird and loopy and like...
Are we doing the Naked Trilogy? So we're doing the third Naked...
Even more naked. That's true. Yeah, this virus keeps popping up. Well, let's research it. Oh no, that query somehow pulled us back in time to
I'm almost thinking
clothing during shower. Oh my god, we're back in time. Yeah.
I'm almost trying to think, is there ever a common setting that more than one franchise has used where you could be like a time fracture has occurred in like space dock or whatever. I mean, you could always say Earth, of course, but you know what I'm saying, where we know that we have
all these random ships appear in space dock.
Well, but I mean,
no threat. We're all in space dock, but
like inside,
that ship shouldn't be here.
Like inside space dock. But like I'm trying to think of some place where every more than one crew has been inside, whether it's Utopia, Phoenicia, or where you could kind of cut interactions because they've all been in this place and there's some reason time's working differently.
I mean,
Risa, unfortunately, I think is a good example.
Risa's a good example.
You'd have Captain's Holiday. You'd have the Deep Space Nine episode.
I was going to say Deep Space Nine itself is a good place because you have both Voyager and TNG represented.
That's true.
Oh yeah.
Other than that, like
and the Enterprise D in the first episode.
Yeah. Well, and not just the first episode. There's that other episode too where.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Birthright?
I think it's Birthright.
TNG episode.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
Part 1.
TNG. Yeah. Like, hey guys, we got this really expensive set over in set stage, whatever. What if we used it? Oh, brilliant.
Crossovers. It's a crazy idea.
These are going to be big someday. I tell you, real big.
Which is funny now because now that I think about it, they totally play it up like this. That's Worf's first time on the station when he joins in season whatever.
4.
Like, but it's not. He's been there before in Birthright.
No.
But yeah, DS9 is. I was trying to think of like a common. I mean, Starfleet headquarters.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it might look a little different, but I'm trying to think like where everyone else would ever.
I would
go.
love it where you have to explain why Lieutenant Paris looks exactly why Cadet Nick Locarno.
Oh! You
Well, that's Starfleet Academy.
His ancestor,
I'm talking about,
right?
Don't. His ancestor from 5 years.
Well, you
before.
have the Academy and you have Starfleet
Cousin.
Command.
Wait, is Starfleet Command not in San Francisco?
No,
It
they
is.
are, but I'm just
Okay.
saying they're different places, though. Like,
I mean, I guess
kind of not.
separated by a couple of miles, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. One's a campus for students. One is where the fate of the known world is.
Yeah, the campus looks like a campus, and like we learned in Into Darkness, Starfleet Command is in a big skyscraper. So there you go.
Oh, that's true.
So this is all right because we're going to go into Fantasyland for a moment. You know, this would never happen in the real world because you brought up Into Darkness. We have not talked Kelvinverse.
Sorry.
So what if we had the Kelvinverse actors, some or all, into a past episode
We're
of Star
a mirror
Trek?
for you too, Picard. I
Mhm.
mean, okay.
I don't know how
so-
you do that. You would have to do a movie.
No. Yeah, but it's like the fourth movie, and there's a part where they
Again, it's complete
they
fantasy.
step. Okay, so they step into TOS. Makes the most sense. It's Kirk and Spock and
Right,
McCoy and all
right,
those
right.
people, and so it's kind of like Spider-Verse, where like they're in another universe, but they look different. These different people, same name, alternate universe.
I'm trying to think of a TOS episode so I'm trying to think of so you can't like the big ones are like so Trebles can't do trebles. I mean you could, it'd be weird.
What about Turnabout Intruder?
Oh, why?
Or not Turnabout. Sorry.
Yeah, I was
Sorry,
like,
not
what?
Turnabout.
Okay, I mean, we
Sorry,
could, I
first
guess.
I'm sorry, I'm misremembering it. It's
Yeah, just describe it. I'll figure it out.
the one with the submarine standoff against the Romulans.
Oh, Balance of Terror.
Balance of Terror had a T in it.
Yeah.
somewhere,
No, that's
so.
fine.
What about Balance of Terror? So you have a
Interesting.
lot of bridge, so you could have other stuff happening below decks because
Well, you could have
don't
like
really go anywhere.
half the crew ends up on the Bird of Prey, half the crew ends up on the Enterprise.
Oh, I could have called you friend. It
Shouldn't be called a bird of prey, but yeah, no, I understand.
has it painted on the bottom of the ship.
That's true. That's fair.
To be sure, they were the
that's
first
fair.
Bird of Prey ever.
That is
so.
fair. That is fair.
Everyone copied. They are the OG. Everyone copied them. Okay.
But I mean, the only thing that's breaking my brain about that is the fact that in this hypothetical land,
Yeah.
it would like a new movie would never do this treatment. So
I
I
know.
just,
Well, yeah.
I know, but it's just like, but
No, you're right.
It's
if we-
short. That's why I did like short trick. 'Cause
Yeah,
short
yeah.
tricks are short, and you do what you want.
But if we were going to do it, and if it was going to be Balance of Terror, what would they be doing? Like, what would their goal be? Like maybe.
Here's the thing. What if
Nero. He went back in
They're-
time again.
No, gosh.
Hello,
Well,
I'm
thinking-
Nero.
Well, here could be the thing where, it's an alternate timeline. So from their perspective, Chris Pine Kirk has never had this encounter. This didn't happen in there. So they don't know what's going on. It's not like, oh yes, I remember the mission where I squared off against an unknown Romulan. It's like, no, this didn't happen in his time or in his universe.
So let me throw this out because we've been thinking TV series. What if the Kelvinverse went to a Star Trek movie?
Well, that's what I was thinking. That would make way more
Okay,
sense. But
okay.
I don't know
So
how
like
you'd.
they're in Five Guys, they're in Five. We're gonna make it better, and this is the only way I can think of.
You know, it would be
Whoa,
funny. You know, what'd be funny about that is Spock. Kirk looks back to
Okay.
Spock and said, "Who's Cybok, man? Like, what the heck's going on here?"
And then you have Kelvin Kirk going, "You have a brother?"
Yeah, And a sister,
Okay.
but we don't talk about it.
So we're having Star Trek. It's weird saying Star Trek 4, but Kelvin verse 4.
Yep.
Going back.
I mean,
into 5.
No. They would have to
man.
just go back into 4, right? Because that's all the Kelvin verses just repeat the previous one. So the 4 would have to go to 4.
And 2 and 3 you couldn't do.
Yeah, because it's so tight.
You could do 1. You wouldn't want to do 5.
One might be interesting, as much as we slag on it. I mean, or don't see last episode. I mean, like I don't know. It's not interesting. I mean, I'm not saying the movie isn't interesting, but just like in our memory of like, well, we'd love to see them play with that. I mean, that's not the movie we want to see them play with,
Honestly, 5 is the most interesting.
Yeah. They're in their monster maroons.
Or you could do 6.
6 would be that's tough. It would
because it's a key like moment in Starfleet history.
Sure.
The signing of the
Kelvin
Accords.
crew in the Monster Maroons.
They've already seen the Monster
really
Maroons in canon. We saw them at the end of
That's
Beyond.
true.
So maybe they got inspired, and we'll see new uniforms.
It's like, I like your jacket.
But the problem with that is like something like 6 is like 6 feels kind of perfect, and this is why like when you started talking about all good things. Like, no, don't mess with it because it's already, you just don't.
They're not listening to the podcast, Daniel. They're not speaking it into the universe.
But like, I don't. So, like, Trouble with Tribbles is a fun episode, but it's not like, the peak of cinema or anything like that. So, I don't know what
people would have said that was a perfect episode, though, beforehand, though. I
don't know.
Well, but the way they did it. So, again, if we're applying the Trouble and Tribble-ations treatment, there aren't actually changing. Like they're kind of just like hiding in the corners while the episode plays is basically what's happening.
Right, but so where would they what would they need to do? They would have to have some goal, right? Like,
yeah.
And I don't know what that
could be. So if they're jumping into like 5, for example, I'm trying to remember the plot of 5. But,
it's the Cybok. He goes to the Peace Planet to have them as hostages so he can pull the Enterprise there so he can steal the starship.
He wants to meet
so he can go to God.
Yeah.
So we have the Galactic Barrier.
Galactic Schmarrier.
Yeah. I don't know. I cannot think of what they would really need to do.
Well, because I think the hard part is you have to think of something that's fun to play. Because there's Tribble-ations. You're playing around the original Enterprise. You're playing around the space station. So it's hard to you have to find almost a bottled episode.
Kinda, yeah, for sure.
So you can play with.
Yeah, if they're going off into adventures, yeah.
Data's Day. They're just playing around Data's Day because nothing's really going on in that.
The other thing I was thinking of was, and not that the Kelvin verse would be good for this, but was First Contact, because First Contact feels like a pivotal historical moment.
I mean, Riker having sex with aliens, really? That's. The movie.
The movie, First Contact, feels like such a pivotal moment in history that you could easily have multiple people from different times being dragged into it in some form or fashion, and all of them having to kind of maneuver around it.
And, James Cromwell's still around. You could get more of the planet. Like, I'm not saying, because, again, I would use the Daniel rule that First Contact is perfect. Don't play with it. But, I mean, if you did, we never got a lot of the planet, like what's going on.
Outside of central Montana?
Well, no, even there in Bozeman, I mean, we didn't get that many scenes with Cochrane. I mean, if you time the movie, we're up on the Enterprise with the Borg a lot more.
Well, and you do also have the fact that, their shields were down. I mean, the Borg were able to beam over on
maybe
the
they beamed down to the Montana, and maybe.
No, but I mean, so there's a detachment of Borg that beamed down to Montana, and our future crew that is side parallel doing this story have to defeat them.
Side quest.
So that the fact that they never actually make it to the complex, because they don't, but we know that the reason for that is because our future crew,
I can picture some Borg, targeting Zephyr as he's running to go pee, and right before he, you think he's going to shoot because the target's on him, and you see Zephyr get shot, but then you realize it was Riker shooting him, and not the Borg.
And you know what? Just for fun and mess with people's heads, you could also so this crew, whoever it is that we decide, they dispatch the Borg, and they're like, "What do we do?" They're like, "You know what we should do? Beam them into Antarctica. No one will ever find
look
them,
for them there,
and it'll be fine." And you close the loop, so Enterprise still happens and works. So
here's the cool thing. So I mean, practicality for actually doing this, it makes sense to have the Kelvin
Why not? Sure.
crew
sure, yeah, why
come
not?
over. But here's what's also cool. They have knowledge of these events. First contact
did happen.
is still
Yeah.
their past. So, I mean, it's a different universe, but for all intents and purposes, like their 2063 is
Yeah,
No,
and they could-
it's the same. It's the same one. We
Yeah.
talked about they Spock literally has
you're
the
right,
charge
'cause
on the Enterprise.
That's
in the
true.
First
They
movie.
branch when Nero comes
Yep,
through.
so it's
He's
the
the
exact
first to
same.
And they can
arrive.
hide the Enterprise A under the Pacific Ocean, so it's perfect. So,
Oh my gosh. I mean, you're not wrong, but
They'll probably just leave
no,
it in
no,
orbit.
no. They hide it behind
Well,
the
Enterprise
moon.
is there. We're
So
right
then when the
beside the
Enterprise,
Enterprise.
then the other Enterprise is hiding
on
like,
the other
okay,
side of the moon.
but this is the joke is like, when the Enterprise E goes to hide from the Romulans, they're like, oh, occupado. This is awkward. There's another starship here. And they're like, you know what? This is such an important moment in our history. I'm sure it's all kind of jacked up. So we're going to pretend we didn't see you and you're going to pretend you didn't see us and just go goodbye, Captain. And they're like, is that Kirk? Like for some reason they talk to each other.
I don't know.
No, I really like that thought though of Kelvin crew doing some side quest mission to stop the Borg from reaching Cochrane's
Make a
encampment.
great video game, right?
That's right. That would be fantastic.
I mean, I'm sorry. There's already the seminal Kelvin video game. I don't want to replace.
Yeah,
it.
we
I
don't have to
replace
talk
it.
about that. There's one other idea I had that I wanted to just bring up. What about parallels?
Ooh,
Okay.
okay, interesting. Let's
Yeah.
still play with.
So you could, I mean, it's kind of a limited idea, but you could have someone go in and explore at least one or two of those like alternate realities. I'm not sure how you'd do that. but-
Okay.
I would almost. My first instinct is
Yeah,
to
the Borg
pitch.
are everywhere. You have, Data with blue eyes.
Oh yes, forgot.
Okay.
But I would pitch someone from DS9 who knows Worf, but Worf does not yet know them.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah.
So you could have, Ezri, if you wanted to,
Or I'd say, I would say Jadzia, but
Yeah.
if you're picking whenever, because they're married, they could literally do like she knows that they're going to get married, and he has no idea who she is,
and he's married to Troy half the time. So
even more awkward.
Yeah, what a great idea actually. What if Jadzia wakes up like we're watching Deep Space Nine like normal. Jadzia wakes up and Worf is gone and nobody knows who he is.
It's the orb of weird past.
You could do it with the orb. That's so perfect.
it's just like
that's what we do.
yesteryear. Commander Worf, who is that?
Yeah, exactly. And then now Jadzia is on a quest to be like,
I'm the only one who remembers him.
everything got broken, and she goes back to Parallels, and she starts
and
to
she
discover.
knows him.
Yeah, and she's like, "Oh, in this future, the Borg have taken over. In this future,
Sorry.
whatever." I think that's super awesome.
In the proper future, you move to DS9 and you marry me. Well, that sounds like the crazy future.
I still want this to be canon. The orb of bad past. That has to be.
Yeah, I mean, and then somehow we'll
they're
figure
running
out how to
names.
use it to return to our own time.
Yeah.
Just hand wave away.
I can
Yeah,
see it.
no,
Jadzia wearing almost like a season. I mean, I know this wasn't season one, but Jadzia in like a season one, like lower enlisted uniform of TNG season one. I'm talking about the tighter one.
Oh, yeah.
She's trying to hide. She wouldn't just
Right.
be wearing the regular TNG. So crewman.
Well, but she
whatever.
could be wearing the. I see what you're saying.
I'm just trying to make it less conspicuous.
Yeah.
But she could be.
mean,
Oh my God, you guys! She could be in the background. She could be in all of the birthday scenes.
Birthday scenes.
Oh my God!
And we have to have a part where they're talking. They're getting the party ready. So you have random extras that are being the party guests because there's so many people back there. We couldn't tell. And she just mumbles to them like, Worf
She's like
doesn't
Battle of
like-
Victoria, right?
Worf doesn't like birthday surprises. I don't know why we're
why are we doing this, guys?
Yeah,
This is a
and
bad
then they're
idea.
like, surprise! And then he's like, I told you he didn't. He wouldn't like this.
You owe me 10 credits.
Yeah, I think that's what a great idea. I think that would be perfect. I would love that.
Okay.
That'd be super fun.
I mean, it's a little less like our crew and more like Jadzia's mystery adventure of the week.
Okay,
but
well,
hey,
like
I'm all for it.
she
Well,
could
she's
bring
gonna have to
someone.
find something.
She could bring someone. Who would she bring? Bashir?
Can't bring O'Brien.
No, you can't bring him. Oh,
But you could. You could bring O'Brien.
Do it.
And
It's even better.
He just plays himself.
Even better. He's like, not again. I've already done this with Kirk. Oh my gosh.
And like
stupid orbs. I am never transporting an orb ever again.
There'd be like some point where like they're like, oh, Chief, aren't you supposed to be in transporter room 3? We're having a problem. He's like, I don't even know if I remember how to do this.
He's like, you do remember how to transport? And he's old galaxy classes. I don't even remember how this thing is.
Got
run.
used to Cardassians.
No, even better. And then we lean into the meme where like, it happens to be the moment he's
Stuck there.
No. But even funnier. He's just standing there for some reason, and all of a sudden, over the comm, Picard's like, "Now, Mr. O'Brien." It's like, what?
What's happening?
I have no central awareness right now, and they're like, "Did you get him?" Okay. So apparently, it was really important for me to beam someone up right now, but I have no idea what's going on from the O'Brien comic. But okay, yeah. So it has to be Jadzia and O'Brien, the two. Oh, that'd be perfect.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun.
And then, we could make it where, in one of the parallels time, O'Brien's not he's an officer, like
he's wearing the lieutenant
world.
pips.
He's wearing the lieutenant. Yeah, and it's like, lieutenant, it's like, whoa, yes, and they're like, and then it's like, I miss people calling me chief.
I had to go to some stupid meeting for 2 hours. Ugh.
Yeah. And they asked me my thoughts. Why'd they ask me my thoughts? And I don't know. I don't know what's going on between these.
You could bring in
I don't know if we should visit the Packlid planet. Sure, maybe. I don't even know why.
You could bring in Will Wheaton because wasn't he the security officer in one of those realities?
I think he was.
Yeah.
He had like the slick back hair.
Yeah, Lieutenant.
Oh, okay, yeah. Mm.
And they used, that was well, not future, but like they used pieces that they eventually used in like Future Bridge. But okay. So we have that. Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's any other crew besides those two that we would want to send back. Oh, Odo. Throw in Odo because he can shapeshift, so he can like impersonate and interact with other people. Like
there might be some problems with.
Oh, that's true. Well, I mean, this is obviously being done in the time of. I'm talking
DS9.
about it being done in the time of DS9.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think Terrafel is ever going to be like, oh, yes, this Star Trek project. I have good relations with those people.
Well, she's married to Adam Nimoy. So,
that's true. That's true. Well,
would this be?
She got something out of the franchise. So.
Would this be an episode where we would see Odo in a Starfleet uniform? Because I don't think we ever get that in.
Oh, that would be cool. Yeah, it'd be cool.
And he just doesn't change his. Or no, it's funnier. He doesn't. He can't really do faces, but he can add a little bit of something on his nose.
Yeah.
And so it's like, oh, that just must be another alien crew member, like, or, I mean, it's a totally different direction. You could have Odo going back to the chase.
Well, I was thinking if you were going to do a third character, you could do Keiko. Again, if we're going to do it.
Well, that's going to get awkward.
Doing O'Brien.
An Enterprise Redux.
I don't remember my quarters being this small. But I'm trying to think.
But if you were really going to add a third character.
Even better, Jake, and he gets pulled into like daycare or something. Like,
what? So there's like rascals all over again?
Yeah, but
I mean, how old is he at this point? I mean,
well, okay, maybe not.
How tall is he? Like, 6'8".
That's true.
I was thinking if you were going to do another character. Well, actually,
Garrick, I don't know.
So I was going to say Cisco because like one of the best things about Troubles and Tribbles is the Cisco Kirk scene.
Right.
And at this point, Cisco and Picard have had they've sussed out their issues.
Yeah.
Kinda.
Oh, that's true, because Parallels does take place after the kickoff of DS9.
Yes.
Because it's season 7.
Yeah, so he wouldn't, he wouldn't be excited to see him or anything. But
so it's so there's actually no cause for concern of time jumping because it's literally I jumped to last Thursday.
Well, it's like it's probably like a 3-year difference between after they're if we're doing it after they're married and
right.
So TNG was over.
Okay.
TNG was over at that point, so it would actually have to, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
You're right. But bringing back Patrick Stewart to shoot something where he interacts with. I mean, again, the whole point of Trial and Tribble-ations is the fact that you don't have the original actors to replace
you just find
their
something.
roles, but yeah. Oh, but I love Jadzia, like how Worf got his groove back.
And she can just be in. I mean, I don't know, because you'd almost have to refilm this because there's not existing stuff. But where like she's talking with Troy about being married to Worf, but I mean, Troy doesn't know that. But she's like, Jadzia's like, yeah, you must, Troy's just having her, usual wife complaints, and she's like, yeah, no, I know what you mean. I was married to someone very similar, and he had the same issues.
A Klingon in Starfleet, but not the one you're thinking about. Yes. All right. Well, I am excited and slightly amazed that we were able to fill an hour with that type of discussion, but we always find a way. Well, Daniel, if someone wanted to talk to you about movie Borg jumping back into TNG Borg, because why not? Where would they find you?
They can find me on Twitter at @OneUpDan. That's the number one, and not the word, as in there is one right timeline in parallels, and it's not the one you're thinking of. Please click here.
And Philip, if someone wanted to talk to you about the ever-present counseling session we would need between Jadzia and Worf and all these relationship knots, where would they find you?
Well, just make sure to end this counseling program when you're done, and definitely not your father. You can find me on Twitter at @NCPublicServant.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. And then if they want to find me to talk about crazy pseudo time travel parallel episodes, they can go to drsci-fi.com, DRSCIFI. Well, I'm Darren Moser.
I'm Philip Gilfus.
I'm Daniel Prue.
Stranded here somewhere in time on City Alpha 3.